Okay, now I have added big greenery right behind me. Just simply cut off a couple big tops and stand them up in X pattern on the tree behind me. Now I would also cover this with pine straw like I did here. I'm not going to do it because you understand the concept. You see how it would easily make a 4, 5, 6 foot across with just a couple of tops. Walk over with a knife, go whack whack, and I got this. Scrape up a little more pine straw, throw on top. Another, what, 15 minutes? So now I got a total of less than 30 minutes in it. What if this isn't going to be adequate? Well, then you got to go to the next step. And the next step is enclosing this. And I'm going to show you the basic idea of it. I'm not going to have time to do the whole thing, but I will show you the basic idea. You've established that you have natural shelter. You've established that you're in a natural windbreak or out of environment as much as possible. You've established a place where you can safely, relatively comfortably spend the night, leaning back, resting, relaxing. I don't have anything here that's going to be a big detriment to me. And another advantage to this big bushy thing is anything come from behind you, you're going to hear and know about it. It's got to make a racket, okay? My fire is directly in front of me. I'm going to get plenty of heat, plenty of light from that. My firewood will be right here, so I don't have to move a lot. Right there is going to be my heat reflector, which is going to heat up and then cause a draft. Keep the smoke away from me, because as it heats, it's going to draft air, okay? And therefore, it will radiate up, and I'll get more of a draft, so I get the heat but very little smoke. I padded this to be a windbreak. I will add pine straw to it, and I now have a semi-enclosure. But now I want to get up here above my head, about, stick your arm up, that high above my head. And that's where I want to lash a pole from here out to here with a Y to hold it. So I want it to be about, oh, say 1.5 feet above my head, coming out here. That's next. Excuse me. There. Okay, that's my two of my front of my Y. Now I got to get a ridge pole to go across the top. I'll get that now. Okay, I got a big old bushy top here. And I want this one right here to be my ridge line. So I use my knife to go ahead and get off anything that's going to be in my way. Like that. I'm going to leave that V. Now I want to separate it from this main trunk. Taking that point right there, it bites when you hit with it. Then we'll go hit. Get rid of that, because you're in my way. Now, I'm going to clean all these limbs off, but leave this Y right here to go around the tree. Be right back. Okay, now that I've cleaned that up, I'm going to take this Y right here. I'm going to come up to my tree above my head area. I'm going to put that Y in right there, just like that. Now, these two other sticks, they are going to be formed to the Y of my front door. That's easy enough to do. All you gotta do is lash them Put it where I'm centered up to where my fire pit's going to be. Just like that. Line everything up. And I keep, just for such things, lengths of paracord already tied in Canadian jam knots, just for such need when I'm out here. So let me get a few of them free right quick. Just like that. That nice long one right there should do it. Come over all three of them first. Under and form a tie. Now that's just to loosely hold it so I can get serious with it. Now pull out this one. And this one I'm going to go over and actually tie a jam knot. Just like that. Pull it up tight. Just like that. Now I'm going to crank down on it really good and tight. Just like that. I'll take that first cord I tied and I'm going to recycle it into a better connection. Okay, now I got me a toggle. Come up here and really wrap that thing up and really torque down on it. Just like that. Put me a safety knot right there so it doesn't slip. Just like that. And there's my ridge. Now my two long runners back here at the back, I go around the back and I tie them together with this. That'll let them grip the tree. Now, sit down, look at it, adjust it. My fire is right there. I've got nice and comfortable sitting position. I can put my head to either side of this tree. I have this leafy behind me. It's more than a hand above my head to my ridge pole. Now I will pile remaining debris up here on top of it. All right, real quick. As you can see, what you do is you just keep adding, pulling, adjusting, weaving, stuffing, and taking these big old brushy tops and laying more and more of them up there. Once you get a pretty good framework, then start gathering pine straw and building up. Now this whole shelter from beginning to end, using just a knife, takes about maybe an hour. If you got good resources handy and you got a good eye for it and you've built a few of them, it's fairly quick. But this little A-frame right here is fairly snug. You know, it will move a little, but the object of the game here is to trap heat. I'm not doing this for snow load. I don't have snow. If it's weather, I want to just pile as much on top and try to defer it away from me. So long grasses like thatching, something like that to do it. But I can easily get in here and I'm arm's length from the edge of the door. The heat is going to come up here and be trapped because I'm going to fill this fully in and then pile it with pine straw. Anything on the inside like this, I just weave it around. Cover in behind me. It's a debris hut, but it's a quick down and dirty debris hut. Now this is the most elaborate ground shelter that I would make in my part of the woods. The only time I would really do this is if it's really cold. I'm needing to trap this heat in here to get me through the night. This is not a permanent camp. I'm doing it as a survival shelter. Thus the idea of a survival knife. That's what this knife would be used for hacking and chopping, digging, slicing, processing, whatever. That's what this knife would be used for. And this type of shelter building, yes, a kukri is a better choice. Yes, a machete is a better choice for chopping big wrist-thick stuff and etc. But it's very hard to process game and all with that. The object of this thing is a knife that does a one-tool option. It builds shelters. It builds what I need in an emergency environment. It's not the perfect tool, but it's a good tool for it. That's the idea. Now, I have built this type of shelter many times when I've been caught out. Usually, like I say, I don't even build a shelter unless I have to. A shelter like this is something that's brought up out of necessity. Now, going back to the way I started this, and I spoke of the mindset. What do I need to get me through till I go home? Okay? There's no sense in building this big elaborate shelter if you don't need it. Conserve your resources, conserve yourself, and don't go beyond what is really required. My clothing, all I need. I need a little bit more. I need a natural shelter. I need a little bit more. I need a place I can lean back, rest, and get some insulation off the ground and some comfort. I need a little bit more. I need a fire. A little bit more. I need a heat reflector, and I need a windbreak heat reflector behind me. A little bit more. I construct a brush shelter arbor over the front, making this what I call an A-frame shelter to trap heat. That's all I need in my part of the country as a survival shelter. This would be for extreme weather. I would improve and make this better. Ideally, in my neck of the woods, I'd rather build a platform and get me up off the ground, especially during the summer, because the ground moves with insects down here. And it's just better to get me off the deck from the chiggers and the ticks and the ants and the snakes and the spiders and everything else down here. You're doing this all night where something got on you. But if it's life and death, this will get you through. I hope this answered some questions, guys. And yes, you can survive with just a knife. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.